Councilman Burgess, you have a proclamation?
I would like those who are part of the Dignity and Respect campaign to please come forward. Phil and Candy Castleberry Singleton, if you'd come forward, please. Certainly we are excited by this proclamation. Whereas the campaign launched in Western Pennsylvania in 2008 as an internal inclusion initiative of the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, has spread to all parts of the Commonwealth and to states across the country, and whereas the Dignity and Respect campaign was established as a community-based initiative in 2009 to promote and foster a genuine appreciation and acceptance of all people, and whereas dignity and respect, as well as trust, acceptance, inclusion, and diversity, distinguished the Dignity and Respect campaign as a driving force for social change across the nation, and 30 tips of dignity and respect highlight the importance of acting intentionally and compassionately toward those in the community. And whereas educational institutions, from grade schools to higher education, have eagerly adopted the Dignity and Respect campaign as a tool to combat bullying and harassment based on race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or culture. And whereas the campaign advocates for an environment of positivity and sportsmanship on and off the playing field through widely recognized athletes, foundations, sporting events, and league representatives. And whereas the Dignity and Respect campaign works with local and national policy leaders, community representatives, educators, professional athletes, and other thought influencers to spread the campaign's message of acceptance. And now, therefore, it be resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does appreciate the values of a diverse population dedicated to family, community, and culture, and encourage an atmosphere of mutual respect and inclusion. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare the month of October 2012 to be Dignity and Respect Month in the City of Pittsburgh.
We have a motion and a second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Two people I have been so personally very very impressed, and I think I've been buoyed by my involvement with the Dignity and Respect campaign. I believe that every single person deserves to be respected, and we have to create an atmosphere of tolerance. So we have the founder, Cassie Castleberry Singleton, and we have one of the, I think, board members and workers, staff members, Phil Green. Either one of you want to come and chat?
So in 2008, February, I moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In 2008, that year, the Pittsburgh Steelers won the Super Bowl. In fact, the rally was held literally almost 1 year after I arrived. At that time, I had not yet been converted to a football fan, and what I quickly learned on this day of the rally, that past 600 Grant Street, as I'm coming down the escalator. So those of you who've been to 600 Grant Street know that there's two sets of escalators. So I knew that the rally started at 12. I figured I should at least go to the rally to be supportive because I was supposed to. And about 11:45, I proceed down for the 12 o'clock rally, quickly realizing that I was far too late to be a part of the rally. As I'm coming down the escalator, the second set, all I could see was a sea of heads that went for miles, it seemed. And as I exit the building and stood at the back of the crowd, I realized I was far too late to actually be in part of the rally. But something else hit me that was sort of the inspiration for creating the Dignity and Respect campaign. Because I've lived in lots of cities, I've led diversity initiatives in organizations that support diversity and inclusion around the world, but it was in that moment, standing there with blacks and whites, straight people, gay people, Christian and Jewish, young people, old, tall, small, literally, Steelers paraphernalia and no paraphernalia, stood together for something. And I had to believe that if we could stand together for a Steelers rally, and if we could stand together as the Steeler Nation, that we could stand for one more thing. And that is when sort of my inspiration for the Dignity and Respect campaign. It's because I knew in that moment, watching and standing there amongst this crowd, that even though I was new to the city, that for those few moments, it didn't matter where I was from, because we stood for the same thing. So, Dignity and Respect at UPMC was the first initiative that I created, and what I realized was that this was the first place that it probably should start in the community. So in 2009, that same year, after the Steelers rally, we actually introduced the campaign to the city. We also, today, I would say, learned that we should not have our salute to champions at the same time that you're having your council meeting, because while we're all here with you, or the two of us, the entire team is actually there saluting champions. So since then, we've recognized 20 people, one person every month, for doing something to make Pittsburgh a greater place for all to live with all of our differences. We've celebrated October Dignity and Respect Month, now being our third year here in Pittsburgh, and today we celebrate it across the nation. We have about 110,000 people who follow us around the U.S. We are today in Pittsburgh Public Schools, Washington County Schools, South Fayette Schools. We are working with the Ohio School Board and schools all the way to Charleston. We're working with counties from here all the way to Multnomah, Oregon, Multnomah County in Oregon. We're working with organizations from UPMC to Long Island, North Shore LIJ, which is in North Shore, Long Island. So today the campaign is not just impacting Pittsburgh, but it's impacting others who share the belief that everyone deserves dignity and respect. It's built on 30 principles or 30 tips. There are small, simple things that you don't need a class, but a decision to make, that you will treat people with dignity and respect by smiling, not just the people you know, not just the people who are going to help you do something, but all people at all levels, to demonstrate mutual respect for people throughout the organization and throughout the community. And I think that that was one of the things that kept me here in Pittsburgh, and I think it is one of the differences that can make Pittsburgh a place that can attract new people to the region, retain them in the region, and help to also grow our economy. I want to thank my friend Philip. If you go to our website at dignityandrespect.org, he is the website. He does all of our creative. And by the way, he's a local small business, so anything that we do in the campaign, we try to support small businesses, primarily based out of Pittsburgh, so that people can know that Pittsburgh actually is a place where they can actually have small businesses. So we have some little underlying motives. But more importantly, I want to thank Councilman Burgess, because he has allowed us to have this conversation with you today. But he hopefully will be an inspiration to allow this to be a part of not just a proclamation, but a part of the way we do business, not only as a council, but as a city and as a Western Pennsylvania. This is our 14th proclamation for the month of October in 2012, and we thank you for your time, and hopefully you will go to take 5. That's what we're promoting this month. One of them is Take a Pledge. You can do that at 313131. Text 3131, take the pledge. You can also make a video, which this can be your video from the City Council. You can also do a number of things that will allow you to spread the message, not just here in Pittsburgh, but across the nation. So thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Philip. And thank you to our team, Charlie Batch, Bracken Burns, I feel like the academies, Bernadette Turner, and all of you who are over across the street at the cabaret at the CLO Cabaret. Sorry you couldn't be here, but we accept this award on your behalf. Thank you.